So hey everyone, I came across these Indian grinding holes, and pretty cool. Right here in the granite. Yep. So there's a spring right here. I've been to this area several times. I always find sign of bear right in here. In fact, there's an impression right there. I notice bears, they like to make an impression in the ground, and that's where they like to lay and sleep. There's usually bear scat around here too, but no sign of Sasquatch. I think it's too dry up here. Water's very scarce in this area in the southern Sierras. I know this is a spring here that pretty much has water in it all year round, but you know, right now in August, it's got a little bit in it, but it's pretty low with that drought going on here in Southern California for the past, I guess, 5 years now. A lot of these springs up here in the Sierras are drying up, so it leaves water sources far and few between. But this area does support bear. I've seen bear in here several times. Of course, there's deer and coyote, but I don't think there's enough water and food to support Sasquatch. But anyway, never hurts to check. So back to these Native American grinding holes. I think they're called matatas. Matata maybe? But anyway, so this area, because of the spring, the natives have been coming up in here for hundreds of years. There's all kinds of sign of them in here. There's obsidian. I found arrowheads in here. Of course, you've got these grinding holes here, and there's several grinding holes in the rocks up in here. But these trees here, these are pinyon pine, and so the pine nuts grow on these, and I'm sure they come up in here and would harvest the pine nuts, and you know, and probably hunt big game. Deer and bear would come into this spring at night to get water, and I think the natives would be up here in these rocks and they would ambush them for food. And so the natives would come up in here during the summer months. During the winters, it snows up in here. It gets pretty cold up here. So during the winter time, they would head back down to the desert, and then in the summertime they would come up here. Elevation's about 6,500 feet up here, and so they would spend their summers up here, get out of that 100-degree temperature down there in the desert, and then there's some bear scat right there, and then they would you know, harvest pine nuts and get big game, get meat, and then in the fall, probably late fall, when it would cool off down in the desert, they would head out of here, go back down. Anyway, it's kind of a cool area. I like coming up in here just because of the history of it. No one ever comes up here. Never seen a person up here. Been here multiple times, never saw anyone here. But I've seen black bear in here, especially in the grass in here. They like to go up into these, you've got these juniper trees mixed in here with these pinyon pines. Got those big junipers. And there's several junipers out there. So I've seen the bears actually up in the trees, and they like to eat the berries, those juniper berries that grow on here. They love to eat those. So they'll come up in here and you'll see them. You'll find scat under the trees, all around those trees. And yeah, but I don't think the Sasquatch come up in here. I just don't think this area can support them. There's not enough water and food, and, you know, maybe they've come in here, passed through here. There's been histories of, you know, a couple of sightings in here back 20, 30 years back, but you know, I just can't see them living up here. It's just too hard of a life for them. Just not enough water and food. So anyway, so here's some more of those grinding holes. One right there. They started one there. It's not very deep. And then there is another one over here. Right there. So here's an area. Now I think the natives were using this. The Native Americans were using this as a an area where they camped. Possibly, I think they had a little fire pit here. I also think that this under here was a roasting, like an oven, where I think they were roasting maybe their pine nuts. Because when I've dug down in there, there's a lot of charcoal in there, and up on the top side of that big rock on top, on the bottom of it, it's all black with soot. So I believe they were cooking in there. And I also believe that they built this wall here out of rock. That does not look natural. Those rocks have been placed there. This is all natural here. But this all along here was built up to create a blind, because again, if right down over the bottom of this thing, down in there is that natural spring. So I believe they were back here. You know, this could have been for protection from wind, or just for cover to keep, you know, the big game from seeing them or hearing them up in here. If they were up in here with a fire cooking. So anyway, I thought that was kind of neat. We got this big old tree here, and yeah.